Welcome to Her Fantasy Football. You can hear us on Blog Talk Radio /Her Fantasy Football and on iTunes. Make sure to subscribe to us on herfantasyfootball.com so you can hear what we're doing this preseason. It's about to start, folks. Whoa. You can also chat with us on Twitter at HerFantasyFB and on Facebook /Her Fantasy Football. I'm your host, Courtney Kirby.
And I'm Ashley Williams.
And I am Brandon Lee.
And today's show is the NFC East and West. Boom, boom, boom.
It's a sunrise sunset.
The lack of defense division with the all defense division.
Yeah, ish.
I was like, ooh, these are the four you don't draft, and these are the four you do draft in defenses. This is how it works. I mean, the Eagles.
Unless it's San Francisco. Everyone's retired.
Yeah.
So.
Everyone, yeah.
I was watching ESPN today, and they're like, what one play would you take back from the 49ers? And they only presented, like, 4 options, and I was like, I need more options than this. Like, I would take back the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Can I do that? Can I take back a whole season?
Oh, come on. It was just last season. The 2 seasons before, they won a lot of games.
No, I hate them.
Wow.
Bold statements from Ashley. 1 minute in. I hate them.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Thank you for starting that. Well, we'll get into the NFC East to start us off. The Philadelphia Eagles must drafts. Well, DeMarco Murray.
Yes.
If you haven't been listening about anything with football related, DeMarco Murray is not an Eagle, people. It's a whole different scenario when you're like, why is DeMarco getting drafted, late in the first round, early in the second round? Well, it's because he plays for a different team, different offense, different backfield.
He's in crazy town now.
And I know we laugh about this.
Kelly Town.
But I just was at a family reunion with people who love football, and people did not know that DeMarco Murray was a Philadelphia Eagle. So a lot of people, now a lot of our ardent fans are big-time fantasy people like we are, so they're like, old news. But there were a lot of people who were like, what? Why would they do that? Why would the Cowboys give away DeMarco Murray? And I'm thinking to myself, where have you been?
Right?
Who are you?
Well, it is now July.
Yeah.
People have shut off from the NFL for a few months if they're just now starting to get back into it, right?
It's early.
It's early, so it's like, welcome back. DeMarco Murray is an Eagle. I still love DeMarco Murray, but he is not going to be DeMarco Murray of 2014, where he had 390 carries, 1,845 yards, 12 touchdowns, another 57 receptions, and 416 yards. That is not what's going to happen.
No.
It's just not. Typically, running backs that have that many touches are going to have a low stat line relatively the year after. Not only that, but he was with the Cowboys that have a great line, right? Great offensive line. The Eagles are not as good at the offensive line. In fact, they even got rid of one of their guys, Evan Mathis, this offseason. So that's a different situation. Not only that, but there were no other running backs for the Cowboys. It was just DeMarco Murray. Now you have, a little bit of competition with Matthews and Sproles. It's not competition. I shouldn't say competition. But there's going to be a few touches taken away from Murray to feed both guys. They're going to be throwing a little bit to Sproles, and they're going to be handing off, I'd say probably, I don't know, what do you think, 10 touches for Matthews every game? 10, 12 touches?
I think that's high.
I think it's too high. You think it's going to be like 8,
5 or
6?
6?
5.
I wouldn't. I'm not like a huge drafter on either one of those guys. I'm just saying that's why Murray is going late in the first round, early in the second round, is because of the dynamics of Chip Kelly's offense. There's supposedly going to be a rush first offense this year,
and that's true.
There should be enough touches to go around, but it is Chip Kelly. You never know.
You don't know a Chip. You don't. I think you're looking at maybe a 10-touch maximum per game between Matthews and Sproles.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah, I think Sproles isn't going to see a lot.
I think he actually could see some, but I think he's going to be much more used as a receiver than he will be used as a running back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They've been lining up Sproles at wide receiver.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's where I
see
him.
I think, I think of Eddie Lacy, and he could get like 8 to 13 touches a game and still was like a top 5 running back. I feel like DeMarco Murray's of that talent level, me personally. I know I'm in the minority because everyone hates DeMarco Murray this offseason.
I know. I got chastised when I was on Scout.com, the SiriusXM show, because I was like, I would borderline take, I know it sounds crazy, DeMarco Murray over AP.
What?
They're all were like, what?
No, I would too. I would too.
I kind of would.
I know, we're the only crazy people. I think Adrian Peterson is great, but I think DeMarco Murray is great too, and I don't know.
I think DeMarco Murray.
Think
I think the Cowboys system last year with the offensive line really helped DeMarco Murray shine. I think he's an amazing talent. Don't get me wrong, and he's a great back, but I don't see those numbers ever happening again for Murray. End of sentence. Like
the only thing I hope is that Chip Kelly can sometimes make his players shine too. When he chooses for you to be the player that he wants to shine, and he has to choose you, keep in mind. Like, you could be a fantastic player that gets absolutely no touches. You have to be the chosen one.
Yeah,
and the chosen one, the granted, the given. I think he's got a chance. And I also will say, I think that was Wayne's World style. I actually like the fact that he could get more touches this year. Than I would agree with you, Courtney. If he had stayed with the Cowboys, I think they probably would have decreased his role a little bit. But I think the fact that he switched teams, he might still get somewhat equal work production. Not as much, I agree. Not as much, but
no, I don't think it's not. I don't even think it's going to be close.
But we're shifting back into this realm, which I'm excited about. Where we're just gonna work. We're gonna have our workhorse, and we're gonna let him work. We're not gonna continue rotating people in. You're gonna work your guy. So I hope that's what Chip Kelly does. Let him be the chosen one. Chip, we're making a plug.
And then Murray and Bradford can hit a Fuddruckers after the game.
That's right. That's right. I love that.
Because they're besties.
Yeah. Love that. Which, again, Sam Bradford is an Eagle. So
that's so weird, right?
And he's supposedly alive this season. So cross your fingers. I just drafted him. That he's a winner. I think he's going to be the comeback kid of 2015.
I do too.
That's my prediction. I think he's going to do awesome. Statements. If he stays alive, supposedly he's fighting for the starting position with Mark Sanchez, but please. I know Sanchez is like the loved child. Everybody loves him, but everybody loves Sam Bradford, who's coached him too. All of his coaches have talked about his size, how accurate he is, how well he works in the pocket, his arm strength, all of these things everybody loves about him. It's just that he can't stay healthy. So let's just hope that this year is like 2 years ago, and he stays healthy for all 16 games, and he's on a much better team with much better players and a much better coaching staff.
He might be one of the most likable guys in the NFL. Is that possible? Could he be?
Sam Bradford or Mark Sanchez? Yeah. Both, really.
Like, I remember when he went down last year, literally.
And people on there, too. It's like they're just handing out lollipops before they walk into the stadium. They're just so sweet.
Everyone likes us.
Everybody likes me. They really like me.
I call it a quagmire.
A quagmire. I love it.
This is Brandon's like borderline nightmare. That's not true. She likes Sanchez and you like Bradford.
Well,
Don't you remember when he got hurt? I almost like in a weird like emotional way. I was like, why can't this kid catch a break? And I'm like,
seriously, I was very upset.
Guy that's on my team.
No, and I'm not. Yeah, I could have cared less about his whole team. I never drafted him. He meant nothing to me. But I really hurt when he got hurt again.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is the saddest thing ever. But back to fantasy. Jordan Matthews. He's going in early in the 4th round. I really like him. I think he's a slot receiver, and I think he's going to be great.
He's all they have.
He's all they have. So Zach Ertz is a tight end with Brett Selleck. Brett Selleck is the blocker. Ertz supposedly is going to see more touches. He's going around the 8th, 9th round. He's the 7th tight end on the roster for Pro Fantasy Football. And it's fine. He was only on the field for 50% of the snaps last year, and he still had 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. So for tight ends, that's actually not bad for only 50% of the time. They say that it's going to increase to maybe 75% of the time. If that's the case, and those numbers are going to go up as well, maybe 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. How would that be? That sounds great for a tight end. I would take it. Don't reach for him, but like he does have talent. So there's that. And their new rookie guy, Aguilar Nelson.
Nelson Aguilar. Aguilar?
I think it's Aguilar Nelson, isn't it?
Hope it's not
No,
Aguilar.
it's Nelson.
Oh, it is. AghOlor. Sorry for messing up your name.
Yep. We like to make people French on this
Nelson.
show.
Yeah.
Before they actually start in the NFL.
We really do.
But he's supposed to be amazing, and they love him there. He seems to be, catching on really fast and making big moves. So I think he's a great rookie. We're not huge on rookies, but he's going late towards the 10th round. I think it's a good snap. So especially in like the league we're doing right now, the Scott Fishbowl League, I think it's going to be where it's like you have 12-man teams. It's like 22 picks, and
yeah,
it goes fast. So I think he's a really good move. So yeah, that's it. There's Ryan Matthews and Darren Sproles we kind of already talked about. So high risk, high reward kind of situation with Sproles. Really, really late. If a really, really deep league, get him.
Agreed.
Redskins.
Sure. It's funny, when I was like doing my write-ups for this team, I was thinking this entire show is going to be a rant, because every single one of these teams in these divisions like just draws the rant and emotion out of you, in good ways and bad ways, I will say.
I know, I hate the Redskins.
So,
I didn't even think about that. It's good. It's good.
it is what it is. But so the Redskins, in terms of some news, I'm sure you guys probably heard about it, but the U.S. District Judge Gerald Bruce Lee, I love his name is Gerald Bruce Lee anyway, according to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, they continue with the cancellation of 6 trademarks owned by the team, which basically means this very well may force the Redskins to change their name. So that's kind of the big hype news right now. Nothing that is super unexpected, I would say. But
Well,
No.
draft must.
no shocker there.
Yeah, nope,
Also
not
take
really.
down your
Saw that
Confederate-
one coming.
I mean, whoa.
We shouldn't laugh about it. We're not laughing about, what's behind all of it.
No, it's
like
absurd.
It's 2015, people.
Yeah.
Like,
Absurd.
snap on. Let's go.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, Courtney.
Snap
It's
on.
crazy.
Snap on.
What's not crazy, though, is Alfred Morris, my little pumpkin. I'm so glad I have him again. I just love Alfred
Love
Morris.
him.
He's one of the most
Pumpkin,
liked
pumpkin.
guys, in my opinion.
He is.
Yes.
He's a Bradford.
Yeah.
Total Bradford. But what is interesting is this is, a guy where he's in a contract year and is going to play, balls to the walls. He also has a guy named Matt Jones waiting in the wings behind him. So he's going to have to play big ball this year to try to shush these people up, because everybody's basically saying that the Redskins are going to shift to Jones in 2016.
I don't like that.
I honestly don't think I see that coming. I think Alfred Morris has done pretty well over the last few years. I mean, he's rushed for almost 3,000 yards in the last 3 years combined, and that's pretty good for a running back, especially in a team like the Redskins. So, but you know what? If he does go somewhere else, that team's will be very happy, and I'm sure he'll be happy too. But I really like him this year. He's always productive. He's always good. He's their fallback guy. I don't love him in PPRs because he doesn't catch the ball much. He's very much purely just a running back, but I like Alfred Morris. I also like Deshaun Jackson, no surprise here, because last year he proved to be the kind of receiver that it didn't matter what quarterback was behind center. He can produce big numbers. He doesn't need a superstar quarterback. He could even use his third string quarterback.
Totally.
He's still going to get you numbers, and that is gold.
And that
You know
will
your
probably be the circumstance.
Kirk Cousins.
Probably will be, I'm sure.
Insert Kirk Cousins.
Maybe
Oh,
Colt
who's
McCoy's going to make
crazy.
a comeback.
Sorry. Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
I heard Colt McCoy is technically number 2,
Oh, God.
allegedly. I mean,
I can't
Love
even.
got
Cousins.
but it goes like RG3, Colt McCoy, then Kirk Cousins. But it's the same 3 guys that were part of the circus last year, so it could be another circus.
They're all going to get hurt at some point. It's going to be just kind of like mix it up.
Yeah. But with that said, I'm actually kind of okay with you taking RG3 in a late round.
Yeah, you can get him for free, basically.
You can basically get him for free. And what my thought is here is this is a crucial contract year. And you've got Nick Foles, Sam Bradford, and Phillip Rivers, who are all set to hit the free agency market next year. They are looming over him if he does not produce. If he does not produce, they will get rid of RG3. This is like, he's on like last straw here. This is his last chance. You know? So he has to produce. Is he capable of produce? Yeah. If he actually focuses and starts putting in the effort that he needs to, he can. Will he? Thus far, we've been proven that he won't. Tough to say. But I do think it's worth the risk at like a round 15 pick. You know? Why not?
I just wrote an article for FanDuel that went up on AOL Sports, and it was my first article to go up on AOL Sports, which was really fun and exciting and really scary, and I love how people just totally, you know, whenever you do a top 10 list, everyone's angry about it, so the comments are always like, you're an idiot, and I love that. It's like, yes, nice.
Yes,
one of the
I
comments
hate it.
was, because the article was the 10 quarterbacks that have the most to prove in 2015, and I did not list Robert Griffin III. And a lot of people are like, Robert Griffin, and in my opinion, he's already proven
that he's not worth your time.
I mean, I feel like if he is any better at all this year, he will exceed expectations, and that's just not interesting to me. And like, I also didn't write about Jay Cutler because, frankly, as a Broncos fan especially, I know exactly who Jay Cutler is. He has nothing to prove, you know. And I think that when
he doesn't care about proving things.
No. So I think that RG3, if where he's at right now, if he does even a modicum better than he did last year, people would be impressed.
Yeah.
But he has the potential for a few big games, and you're right, Brian. If he, I mean, the bar is so low for him right now. I mean, it is like floor. Yeah. That anything he does above that is going to be great. Not great, but I mean, like, in terms of like, oh, he had a good game.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just like RG3 greatly. You will not see me drafting him. I think the 15th round is way high. There'd have to be like 30 rounds for him to get on.
But when you go to like 2 quarterback leagues and you need someone like on a bye, he's a good guy that can have flashes of brilliance. He'll do it like 2 or 3 games a season where he throws up big numbers. You just have to make sure you got the right matchup, and you got to be lucky that you're in that game. But there's potential there. And again, you could borderline not have to draft him or draft him so late that at that point you're drafting like a 6th, 7th, 8th receiver that you're never, ever going to play anyway. At least steal away a quarterback from somebody else you can't pick up.
All right.
I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to have to get Colt McCoy and Kirk Cousins just in case if you're in a 2-quarterback league. Like,
no, I'm not saying you take
serious
insurance
with that guy.
You could take him in your 15th as like your 3rd or 4th quarterback when you've got a 2-quarterback league and he's going to fill in on a bye or something. No. Let's be very clear. You are not depending on Robert Griffin as your backup. Okay. We're talking like 3rd-string quarterback if you need it. And again, a lot of people don't even draft more than one quarterback, right. But he's someone to look at because he's got a lot riding on this year.
Which I want to remind everybody, so we're partaking, actually you can follow it on Twitter, SFB360 is the hashtag. Hashtag SFB360. It's the Scott Fish Bowl, and it's this great league of 360 teams. That's right, split up into all these divisions. It's all based off of Will Ferrell. So I'm in the old school division. Ashley, what division are you in?
I am in the Zoolander Magnum.
That's nice.
Magnum.
Courtney?
And I'm in Step Brothers, the Prestige.
Oh, right. And I'm an old school Mitchapalooza.
Yeah,
so,
Mitchapalooza.
So anyway, it's really, really fun. And we're playing with one of our fans, and I consider her a colleague, Casey K-Sub. She's in my league with me, and it's awesome. But we get to play one quarterback and then a quarterback as a flex. And so when we're talking about like having 3rd or 4th quarterbacks, you're traditionally not going to have a 3rd or 4th quarterback. But if you're in a wackadoodle 360-team league, then yes, Robert Griffin III is draftable. Otherwise...
Yeah. Again, if I was not clear there, you are not depending on him as a backup, as a starter. He is merely there that you pick up to potentially screw someone else over, or you're in a 2-quarterback starting league and you're using him as a 3rd quarterback to fill on a bye. Done with him. We're done with RG3. That's what we're talking about in the whole season long, quite honestly. But and then my other ones would be just Pierre Garçon, Andre Roberts. I refuse in my hearts of hearts to believe that Pierre Garçon
Is done.
is done.
He can't
That he
be.
was that bad because he was so good, and last year was just like this like bizarre freakadeek year where I'm just like, what is going on? I refuse to believe it.
All right.
I may be very wrong here, but again, I'm willing to take a flyer on him. You're not going to do something crazy and draft him high. I'm talking like he's like your last receiver you pick up. There's potential there.
Potential.
Courtney is so bored with Pierre Garçon, she yawned.
Oh, the Redskins. If I could flip them off right now, I would.
Courtney was just like, I'm
the
not
one
even
team
going to
I
hide
do
this.
not want to cover
like,
this year. I was like, do not give me the Redskins. I do not want to
There's
have
so much drama though, which
to
is
get into
fun.
that headspace every Wednesday to record. Just can't do it. All
We're
right,
done with them,
Dallas
so you're
Cowboys, one of my favorite teams. Love the switch up.
Hello.
Love me some Cowboys.
So first of all, actually, as the news, I didn't include news because I'm an idiot on my outline. Apologies. So Tony Romo was doing this fantasy football conference that got canceled because the National Football League decided last minute to tell him that not tell him, but to tell the players they couldn't go because it was in Vegas at a conference center, so therefore it was considered gambling and that they would possibly be suspended. So anyway, what I was going to say is it was very unfortunate, but he went on the Colin Cowherd show and he was saying that he basically thinks the NFL is going to try to do their own conference just like his next year and kind of put like this conspiracy theory out there. So we'll see.
It's a bold statement. He's completely right.
It
I'm
was
sure.
bold. Yeah.
It was
I mean,
bold.
I was surprised that he came out like that against the NFL. But anyway, we were possibly going to go. We're very sad, and best luck to next year. But Tony Romo, on that hand, is so I'm going to say he's someone you have to draft, but then I'm going to say you don't have to draft him. And let me tell you why. I like him if he's going late. I do not like him as the 8th quarterback off the board. I feel like he's 35. I want Des Bryant to just sign this darn contract already. I want the Cowboys to come up with something respectable for him, and then I want them to practice all together. I don't like that DeMarco Murray's not there anymore, and that's basically my whole write-up on Dallas is that I don't like that DeMarco Murray's not there anymore because I know they have a great offensive line, and I'm not saying anything bad about the offensive line, but I am telling you undoubtedly that Joseph Randle and Darren McFadden are not DeMarco Murray.
No, not even combined are they DeMarco Murray.
I can't even go there. So what I was going to say is that, listen, his yards went down last year. In 2012, it was 4,900 yards. 2013, 3,828. And then it was 3,105 in 2014, mostly because he could lean on the run, right?
Right.
But his touchdowns went up, so that was great. He had 34 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Why? Because they could lean on the run. So it's one of those things where I'm not quite sure what's going to happen to his numbers, and he is 35. No one talks about him being old. They talk about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees
They're
like
all
they're
old
about to
now.
die.
They're all old now. I think
Oh.
the age just means nothing in quarterbacks' lives anymore. I
Yeah.
think that they're going to live forever.
I'm not worried about him being 35. I actually think
No,
he's kind
I
of
think
coming into his prime. I think he's finally
Yeah.
like over some of his weird, like jittery, messing things up in December,
so.
messing things up in playoffs, or never getting to the playoffs. I feel like he's kind of like in a place of acceptance.
Yeah, I feel like if the running game is good enough that the defense at least has to spend a little bit of energy on them, then I think Tony Romo's numbers are going to go up because he doesn't have Murray to just hand the ball off to.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to throw the ball, but he's not. But they have to be able to make the run effective enough to give the defense something else to do than just Des Bryant. So
Exactly.
yeah.
But I'm just not confident
see
with Darren McFadden and Joseph Randle filling that role.
Yeah, I'm
They
having
just
a-
have to be good enough. They don't have to be good. They have to be just good enough.
Well, that's what everyone's depending on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the Cowboys are going to depend on, and I think that's interesting. I'm not sold yet. I need a preseason to feel comfortable on the Dallas Cowboys the way I was comfortable with them last year, where I was like,
And I
draft
need to see a happy Dez too. An unhappy Dez with a very subpar running back committee does not make me happy.
No.
I think they'll get the deal done with Dez. I think
They better get the deal done with Dez. He's the only player left on their team.
Yeah, I mean,
it's under the age of 30. I mean, like,
rumor has it
think
they're
about
waiting
it.
for the Broncos to get the Demaryius Thomas deal done to kind of gauge what they want to do with Dez.
Demaryius is going to play regardless. He doesn't care. He wants to play. So I don't think, Dez. I think Dez needs to get done because Dez has a very short fuse. We've seen him on the sidelines. Not the case with Demaryius.
It's passion.
It's passion. It's passion. It's passion. It's leadership is what it is.
What I like is passion. At least the passion's entertaining.
Love it.
Comes
Love
to
it.
words,
That's one of my
the
favorites.
Cowboys will be entertaining.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. And all I'm going to say about Dez Bryant, he's going like third wide receiver off the board, 10th overall, and this is my analysis from here until the beginning of the season. He's a freak of nature. For the last 3 seasons, he's had 1,000+ yards and double-digit touchdowns. So there you go. Nothing else to say.
Pay the guy.
Get the deal done.
Get the deal done.
Get it done.
No one's talking about Jason Witten. I kind of like that because right now you can almost get him for free. He and Vernon Davis are kind of my as my backup tight end or like some guy I can just grab it literally as the last pick of the draft. And I'm literally going to put this out here. Would you go for one of these guys as one of your last picks and just like wait in tight end? Or maybe both of them?
I like Witten, especially because the running back game is
bad.
Subpar.
Yeah.
That's an option that they're going to have to do to shorten the field, to draw the defense in, to open up the receivers. They're going to have to definitely use more of a focus on Jason Witten to shore up that line, right? So I actually think Witten could be a good pick this year.
I mean, he only has 703 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. But the year before that, he had 851 and 8 touchdowns. The year before that, he had over 1,000 yards but only 3 touchdowns. So if he goes in the middle of all of that, he's still one of the top 10 guys.
Totally. And again, different team, no DeMarco Murray. They're going to have to get the ball out of Romo's hands
quickly.
I mean, it's tight ends. I have a love-hate relationship with Witten, but I would definitely tell you to draft him at a reasonable time.
Right. And this could be the first year you can get him at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. So also on that, Terrence Williams, he hurt his elbow in camp, so he's kind of slipping in ADP right now. So if you're drafting now or like early, you might be able to get a deal on him. So do that because this is his 3rd year. That's when a lot of wide receivers break out. They're looking for a new contract. Listen, his yards did go down last year, but once again, they had DeMarco Murray. They don't have this again. I mean, are you getting my drift here? This is the team. And also, I don't know why I get so many Cole Beasley questions on Twitter. I think he's the new Bishop Sankey. Can someone explain to me why I need to talk about Cole Beasley?
It's because he had like a moment of brilliance.
Yeah.
Or targets even, I would say. And everyone was like, oh, no, it's Beasley. And then it never followed up with it. I mean, and just nothing else happened with it. I think Terrence Williams is my guy if I had to choose one. I'm not the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff, unfortunately, because I think he is the most unused, talented receiver in the NFC.
I agree.
It's just crazy to me.
Also, so Cole Beasley got paid. He's getting paid $13.6 million for being Cole Beasley. That's who he signed in the offseason. And here's the deal. He played all 16 games last year, but he only got 420 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know. I mean, yes, late in your draft, if you're in a weird league where you go on and on and on and on. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, Twitter, what is going on with Cole Beasley?
It's because 4 touchdowns puts him kind of in the middle of the pack in terms of wide receivers of average touchdowns, which makes him interesting. But it makes him incredibly uninteresting that he only had 420 yards. This means he does not get targeted much. It means this is a guy it's a lucky target in the end zone. You cannot count on guys like Cole Beasley in your fantasy lineups.
I just feel like they're going to have a hard enough time throwing the ball anyway because of their run game, and I'm just I'm not feeling this.
Right. Well,
I'm feeling it low. You want to draft it super low, or you want to look at him as a possible pickup right away because maybe you didn't like your team? Okay. You're not starting him. He's not a starter on your team.
No, he's
don't tell Twitter.
I will tell Twitter. I will tell them.
New York Giants news.
Oh my.
It's like the only thing people are talking about. Gosh, it is at the slow time of the NFL. Jason Pierre-Paul had a little too much fun this 4th of July as he blew off half his hand. He got a finger amputated the other day, and he will not see the Giants trainers. So, oops.
Well, it's really interesting because he's kind of has the power right now. You know, because they franchise tagged him, and then he never signed the paperwork for the franchise tag, and he wouldn't agree to the long-term deal that he did. So either they take the franchise tag off and lose him for no value, or they literally have to wait until he decides he wants to sign that franchise tag.
He doesn't. He's missing a finger.
He'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Totally fine.
They actually think he'll be done in 2 weeks. And actually amputating it supposedly might actually make it heal faster.
Oh, really?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I mean, I was looking at it, I was like, it all sounds gross.
He's gonna have a different kind of touch he's got to get used to, but I mean, he'll be fine.
Listen, I love 4th of July. I think,
I hate 4th
it's wonderful to celebrate our independence and the birthday, whatever, but fireworks are so not my thing. Like, I'm sorry.
Me too.
You will not see me at somebody's house lighting off fireworks. You will not see it. I'm sorry. People lose fingers. They lose eyeballs. Just watch this awful video on Facebook where it was like all of these men doing this dumbest things with fireworks, like sticking it in their bottom or up their nose or like I just like crazy stuff. I'm like, are you? Yes, you are. And I don't know. I'm not saying that Jason Pierre-Paul was doing something stupid. It might just have been in a freak accident. I don't know. But fireworks are dangerous.
They are.
That's
well,
my story.
and then C.J. Wilson from Tampa Bay did the same thing.
Yep, same thing. Had his finger amputated as well.
You have enough
Two,
money
I
to
think,
go
right?
to a show. Go to a show.
Go to a show.
Stop it.
2016. Go to a show.
2016. Go to a baseball game. Watch it there. Come on. Must dress for the Giants. We've only got one, guys. It's the Giants. It's a sharing team. We share on this team. It's very nice. But who will take in the majority of the love is Mr. ODB.
ODB.
Yes. We love Odell Beckham Jr. He's awesome. A lot of people were taking him really high in the draft we're in right now. He's going roughly 9th overall. I love him wherever. He's the man. This is going to be his sophomore year. It's going to be great. Second year in the offense for all these guys. It's going to be hopefully a smoother process. Victor Cruz is back, so hopefully that'll even open him up even a little bit more. We got Shane Vereen in the mix with them. So that's going to open up the passing game. I love Shane Vereen in PPR, you guys. It's a sneaky pick. He's kind of going really low. So for PPR, I think it's great. I think Eli's going to be a lot better. I'm not mad about Eli. Drafting Eli is late. I think he's going in the 9th round. So if you want to stack up on people and you want to get a quarterback really late, I think Eli is right there on the cuff to being your backup quarterback. That's great. So either way, I like both of them. Victor Cruz is kind of going to be a high-risk, high-reward kind of guy. He could have huge numbers like he's had before. He is coming off a huge injury, so we don't know how he's going to be. Most likely he's not going to be Victor Cruz that we have known as fast as he is, be able to cut really fast. But who knows? He might pull out an AP, come back off of an injury, and just, like, tear stuff up and be, like, the duo, like Green Bay Packers,
I thought you were going to say, like, Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, Nelson and Cobb, those guys.
Or Nelson and Cobb.
Nelson and Cobb. So he's going in the 10th round. I think that's fantastic value for a Victor Cruz.
Yeah.
So yeah. I love that. And again, he may be a bust, but I think it's totally worth the investment, in my opinion. Again, Shane Vereen is going much higher in PPR leagues. So if you're in a PPR league, definitely stab Shane Vereen up. He's kind of going really high in like the 6th, 7th round. So that's what it is. And don't draft Larry Donnell. He was a thing at the beginning of 2014. We had a lot of hopes and dreams.
Dreams were
It
shattered.
all went away. Yeah, it was like shattered, swept up, thrown away, went down way far to the dump. It's gone. It's gone, you guys.
I didn't even know tight ends could fumble that much.
Oh,
They
my
have
goodness.
Fantasy Pros, and as we said, we're going to do our rankings here coming up next week. The Fantasy Pros has him the 22nd tight end. I didn't even know there were 22 tight ends in the league. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Then I started looking at his stats. I was like, yes, it's all making sense. It's all coming back to me now. We haven't seen it in a podcast in a few, you guys.
That's true. That's true. As I say, I'm
True.
really glad to see that your hatred for Larry Darnell is carrying over to this season. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's solid. I love
You know
the
what's really
Giants.
sad, you guys? I met Jason Pierre-Paul. He's one of the only NFL players that I got to meet, and he was so nice. He's beautiful, huge. He walks into the room and he's really nice. I really liked him. I'm just so bummed. Fireworks, guys.
Dumb.
Fireworks.
Dumb.
Go
I'm
to a
bummed
show.
out.
Go to a show.
Okay. All right, we're going to finish up the show with the NFC West. It's going to be exciting. Seattle Seahawks. Let's start with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
Where
And Sierra.
to start? I feel like my entire write-up for the Seahawks is just in the news section.
That's fine.
It's ridiculous. So it's really a tough call for me between the fact that Russell Wilson has stated that he's not having sex with his girlfriend of 2 months, Sierra, a.k.a. referred to as dating Jesus way, and that they are going to try to not have sex until marriage. Literally, that's what he calls it, dating Jesus way.
I love that.
Or-
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's legit.
hilarious.
That's legit.
That's real.
I thought Jesus, I thought that a lot of Christians didn't think Jesus had a wife or dated.
Jesus way. The Jesus way is to not have sex before marriage.
Right. Well, he didn't even get married, right? I don't know. We're now getting into theology, and I'm not going to go down there.
Don't even start.
Yeah, I'd love to see this Tebow Wilson battle over what's the way.
Purity.
He said that God told him to lead Sierra.
Oh, yes.
To leave her?
To lead.
Lead.
He needs to lead her.
To Jesus?
I think in general.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
But is that the more entertaining piece of Seahawk news, or is it Marshawn Lynch's biopic movie Family First, the Marshawn Lynch story, which was supposed to cover his rise from his start on the streets of Oakland to the big show in the NFL, and yet his family friend, who was the director, Mario Bobino,
Great name.
some guy named Mario Bobino on the streets of Oakland, first of
So
all,
good.
but
With Marshawn Lynch.
with Marshawn Lynch. Hey, I'm Marshawn, and I'm Mario. Anyway, he was the director, and he basically released an unauthorized trailer on his YouTube channel, which was hardcore panned. Lynch is embarrassed. He is mad. The project has been stopped. It's bad news, and basically that friendship is over. So I can't decide which one's the more entertaining news.
Eminem.
I mean, there's the real news about Russell Wilson's actual contract, which actually pertains to football.
Yeah, please.
So there's that. Now, but even with that, the drama keeps on coming, ladies. So with contract
So
negotiations, they have taken many different turns at this point, right? So he has his early tweets, sub-tweets, all that kind of good stuff. He's got these deep sighs and comments that I've moved before. He has made a bunch of passive-aggressive threats to play baseball, which is actually being fueled by his manager, who really only reps baseball players. Wilson's his only NFL player, so he's kind of running this whole contract negotiation like you would in the MLB, which is not exactly how they're run in the NFL. He's also made some, seemingly nice comments that he'd be happy to play for the Seahawks for $1.5 million or $25 million, which just so happens to be very close to the number that he's countered with during his negotiations. It's the whole thing is crazy. Seahawks, pay the man. Just pay the man. He's taking you to 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. And then there's craziness of people.
It's out of
Well,
control.
Well, then people are trying to say, and I will not buy into this, and everyone knows my feeling on the Seahawks. Anyone's listened to this podcast for even like half a year knows my feeling on them, and Russell Wilson in particular. But they're trying to sit there and say that the Seahawks have a whole strategy that you don't need to pay your quarterback. That what they'll do is they'll just do these low-end quarterbacks, wait for them to get out of their rookie year, and then get another rookie quarterback they can pay crazy low. And I'm like, there is no way a Super Bowl caliber team has a game plan of not paying arguably the most important position on the field.
If so,
crazy.
My name's Brandon, and I'm a Broncos fan. Hello, Russell.
Yeah,
seriously.
Come
No
retire
joke.
with us. I know it's only your like third season in the NFL. But come die with us. This is where the great quarterbacks come.
Hey,
right?
come here. Come here. I have something to tell you.
It's crazy. But I am going to finish up with even. It's so funny, and I should have tied it in with the Sierra news, but I thought I should throw at least some actual Seahawk fantasy relevant news. But I have to pinpoint the humor, and I only mention this because Martellus Bennett did not say it in a mean tone at all, that he was poking fun at Wilson for claiming to have someone other than Darrell Bevell in his helmet radio during the Super Bowl after Wilson said God talked to him during the Super Bowl. This came out in an interview that was part of the whole reference to Wilson and finding Christ and dating the Jesus way. That Martellus Bennett, these are quotes. I wonder how loud God has to yell for Russell to hear him / her at the moment in the Super Bowl. Yo, Russell, it's me, God. Can you hear me? Hey, Jesus, is this thing on? Come help your pops out. Jesus. Seriously, Jesus, get over here and turn this thing on for me.
Oh my gosh. That is amazing.
So God is an old fart who doesn't understand technology.
Hey, I can't figure this thing out.
Jesus, help me out.
Jesus, turn it on. Turn it on.
That is brilliant on so many different levels.
Makes me want to drop Bennett even higher. So
yes,
funny.
go
so
Bennett.
funny. And it wasn't in a mean way. And
No.
Wilson knows it wasn't in a mean way. There's no animosity between them. He laughed about it. Like it's. I mean, how can you not when you've got your saying Jesus and figure out how to turn a mic on? So funny.
I love that it's a technology joke.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Jesus, seriously, Jesus, get over here and turn this thing on for me.
I love that. Wow.
I love it. Anyway, your must drafts are obviously Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch. These are no-brainers. Jimmy Graham as well. I'm not sure he's going to get the same production that he did in terms of the Jimmy Graham that we've thought of, but he's still, your second best tight end or third best. Arguably, I would say Greg Olsen over Jimmy Graham, but he's at least that 2-3 range, so you got to draft him. He's a must draft. But my sleepers are Luke Wilson. He's a backup tight end to Jimmy Graham, but Wilson was really comfortable. Russell Wilson was really comfortable with Luke Wilson.
Right.
And the Wilsons. Yep, the Wilsons. And I can see them very easily running some two tight end sets, and then Wilson would actually get open because they're going to double cover Jimmy Graham. So I like that if you're looking at kind of a second tight end situation. I like Luke Wilson. I also like Paul Richardson. So Richardson didn't play a whole lot last year. He got hurt, but he showed immense promise, and he's quick, and I like him breaking open down the sideline with Graham clogging up the middle this year. So I think Richardson's got some potential, because otherwise I generally tell you not to really kind of steer clear of the Seahawks receivers, but there's some potential there. There's potential for like a sleeper. We're talking legit sleeper, not like your third wide receiver that you pick up.
Right. Roddy White is a sleeper.
Right, sleeper. No, I'm talking like a real sleeper.
When I hear the word potential, I get flashbacks of Cordero Patterson zeroing out, and
He's
it's
not
like, oh,
It'll get you.
huge bust to the face. Yeah. All right, San Francisco 49ers, our favorite team.
All right. So I'm going a little bit back and forth in my brain about this. So Carlos Hyde. Luckily, everyone feels the same way that I do, so he's dropping in drafts. So before, when he was going really high, I thought, yeah, I don't think so. But now he's going between like 17 to like 30 even, which is crazy for running backs. He has pretty much been declared the starter. Yes, he's competing with okay, so this is the situation. Carlos Hyde's the big guy. And last year he was a rookie. He was behind Frank Gore, and they weren't even running Frank Gore, so why would they run Carlos Hyde? It was the weirdest game plans in history. But he cut weight. He came in and he looks really good this offseason. So I'm pretty confident that he's the guy. They did also bring in Reggie Bush, which is fine, actually, because he's a completely different back. And, yes, he'll maybe take some touches. But I don't – you guys, Reggie Bush has been hurt a lot. He just hasn't been a thing for a while. So I'm not that worried about it. And then they drafted a rookie in the 4th round this year, Mike Davis. He's good, but I still don't think that's going to be a thing.
Not
or
this
Kendall
year.
Hunter, who's back from injuries. So I think those are hype trains that you can get off. I think you can get off the Mike Davis and Kendall Hunter train. Just kind of, oops, here's my stop, sorry, and then leave. So I think you can get Reggie Bush late and get him as your handcuff, but I don't think you'll need him. I think it's going to be Carlos Hyde. I think he's come back pretty strong, and they need him. Torrey
I also
Smith.
don't hate Reggie Bush because that team severely needs some veteran leadership.
I would like Reggie Bush a lot if Colin Kaepernick was better at the short pass.
It's true.
He's awful at the dump, and that is Reggie Bush's specialty. But he will be a change of pace back, certainly.
And Colin Kaepernick, though, in my draft sleepers, wow, how the mighty have fallen.
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 Holy,
Really nice this year.
He is going off the board as like the 20th quarterback
Wow.
in like the 14th round.
Let me ask you this. Would you take RG3 or Colin Kaepernick?
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick.
I would too.
Although it's crazy because I feel
doesn't have
like RG3 has more people around him.
Yeah.
But it's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, at least Colin Kaepernick stays alive through the whole season. I mean, he's barely breathing, but he's alive.
If Kaepernick can get the run game back, because he didn't really rush all that much last year.
No, that's what I was going to say.
Quarterbacks.
But they want to protect their quarterback. But to be fair, his yards went up last year. His passing percentage went up or his completion percentage went up last year, and his touchdowns. The guy is going up, but he also went up on interceptions and fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what killed him.
Yep.
But supposedly he's been working with Dennis Guile, quarterback guru, in the off season. He's working on his mechanics. Supposedly it's getting better. I don't think he's as bad as people are acting like he is now. And you know me, I was the one who told everyone last year not to draft him when he was going in the top 10. I was like, that's crazy. And I was right. That was crazy. But it's also crazy that now he's one of the bottom guys in the league. I'm not quite sure
he's
that's
the Larry
accurate.
Donnell of quarterbacks.
But if you sit there and think about it, I would take Andy Dalton over Colin Kaepernick. I'd take Flacco over Kaepernick. I would take Cutler over Kaepernick. I would take Teddy Bridgewater over Kaepernick. You know, there's a lot of people you would take over him.
I wouldn't take Dalton or Cutler over Kaepernick.
I would.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Cutler's going to be the quarterback of the Chicago Bears for the whole season. At a certain point, they have to cut bait. It's out of control. And then Andy Dalton, it doesn't even matter if he's playing or not. He just does. It's unbelievable.
He has a lot of interceptions. But what I do like about Kaepernick's interceptions is that his interceptions went up. What I'm hoping is that they were giving him a year to air the ball out.
Air it out.
And work out some of his kinks. And in fantasy, that's awful, especially if you play for a team that takes away 2 points for an interception. But moving on, 2015 is going to be a lot different than 2014, and hopefully those numbers get decreased immensely because he's figured it out, right? That's what we're all hoping
figured
for.
out, or they're going to move on.
He has to figure it out.
Well, and Kaepernick does have his head on his shoulders. I will say this. So last year was a humbling year.
Yeah.
So clearly, as he went out and the team, they got him one of the best quarterback coaches they could. So. And he seems to be the kind of guy that's receptive to constructive criticism, to different skill sets, different things they want you to do. So I am more optimistic for him this year than I was last year, certainly, because of that.
I agree. Also in sleepers, Anquan Bolden will never get the respect he deserves.
Never.
So
They should.
you should look for him late. Vernon Davis, as I said, he's free. You can take him as your last pick. I don't think it's bad. Listen, he was terrible last year. He looks great at camp, though, this year. And, yes, he was terrible. 245 yards, 2 touchdowns last year. Terrible. But in 2009 through 2013, he had at least 41 catches in every year. And he only had one season under 792 yards.
Yeah.
Put it out there. And if you're in a super, super deep league, you know my love for Bruce Ellington last year. Jim Harbaugh doesn't play rookies, so he didn't get a lot of play time, but he's fast. He's like just kind of and he's a like fun wide receiver. If you're in like a best ball league or a really, really deep league, Bruce Ellington is my guy.
Bruce Ellington, I like it.
Digging deep.
Digging deep on the sleepers. We don't do Roddy White as a sleeper on this show.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Nope. Not at all. Arizona Cardinals. Well, it's kind of that team that's like right in between. There's
They're
nothing.
on the cusp, right? They're on the
They're
cusp of having it together. You know?
Right. They're the perfect like running back 2-3, wide receiver 2-3-4, quarterback 1-2. I love Carson Palmer. He was another one when he got hurt last year. We were actually in New York at DirecTV's Fantasy Zone, and when he went down, it was like,
terrible.
It was bad, and it's really sad because he just signed the contract the day before, and like all this crazy stuff. But he is legit, and we forget about it for his age and whatnot. But he's good, and he's going relatively late. So I love Palmer. Yeah, he's like going in the 15th, 16th round. So I'm totally okay with it. On that note, Larry Fitzgerald, he's going in like the 10th round, and when he had Carson Palmer, he was good.
Yep.
So
I'm snatching him in every league.
Snatch him up, you guys, because he's going late, and he's going to see a lot of touches. I think he's going to really open it up. He is not done yet with him and Palmer. It's going to be great. And I'm hoping Floyd sees that little bit of love, too.
Yeah.
Floyd it's like a make or break year. This is it. This is his moment.
Yeah.
He's actually going higher than Fitzgerald in a lot of leagues because of that, potential.
Well, because Larry's considered as old.
Well, yeah. I just feel like the NFL is getting really old. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. I'm like, oh. But yeah, so I'm okay with Michael Floyd. Do not reach for him. If you snag him up at the end, hopefully he goes past seed in the 9th round. That would be nice. I know I got him, I want to say I got him pretty late. And then Andre Ellington.
I got him in the 9th round.
Did you get him in the 9th round? I can't remember when I got him, but I want to say it was relatively late. But also, Andre Ellington, again, right there. High risk, high reward. He's going to be splitting the ball a lot with the rookie running back, David Johnson, which is kind of a sneak sleeper. I'm not totally upset about that. So, Ellington, I was really high on him last year. I'm not as high on him this year. He's still worth the draft pick if you can get him in the 5th, 6th round. St. Louis Rams.
The Rams. So it's interesting. There's been a lot of different strategies that's been going on this offseason, which I'm into. So the Rams are looking to sign a long-term deal with Nick Foles. And this is really interesting as they have not even seen him play yet.
I know, it's so good.
Here's the logic that people, the logic behind it, right, is that if they sign him now, so Foles is essentially coming off 2 partial seasons, right? Both of the times he was partial, he was good, right? So I can see why there is this, this sense of confidence in him. But the real logic is they're like, we can get him cheap. Because if they sign him now when he's had 2 partial seasons and he's kind of to some extent been a throwaway for a lot of teams and a lot of people, they can sign him cheap to a long-term deal where the guarantees are kind of built in. He won't have crazy bonuses and whatnot, and they can save a lot of money. Whereas if they sign him later and he's got a great season, then they're going to have, a Russell Wilson kind of situation on his hands where he wants a big contract, and so they're thinking about doing the long-term deal now. It's very interesting. as they have not even seen him play. Moving on.
Love
We're continuing to keep an eye on Todd Gurley's progress as he thinks he's going to be able to start the season, but he has not been cleared yet by doctors. So this is one that you're going to watch very, very closely.
Well, I think I'm a princess.
Yeah.
We all are princesses, Brandon. So that's true.
I mean,
But
Hello.
I like Todd Gurley. And it's possible that I like him because I drafted him. It's very possible. But more importantly, the Rams made a big statement that they are dedicated to not only protecting their quarterback, but opening holes this year, as they drafted 4 offensive linemen in the draft.
Yeah, they did.
4. Like they are making it a priority. You know, they've got a great defense. So the defense is a team that you can always draft the Rams defense, but they're shoring up their offensive line, and they needed to big time. So more than likely he will not be fully ready by the time the season starts, even though he thinks that he will. Be prepared that he won't be. But I'm also not that worried about a timeshare because they picked him up 10th overall, and running backs in general the last few drafts have not gone super high, or if at all, in the draft, and they took him 10th overall, and they're investing a lot on a guy coming off an injury. He is their guy. They're not going to go to all this effort and have this high of a draft pick to run a committee. Yes, Trey Mason will probably get the start initially while he's figuring the whole rehab out, but Gurley will be the guy. And then Nick Foles, he's been going fairly low as well, and yes, he's on the Rams. I get this is your argument. I understand that, but don't freak out too much. While he had half of the season last year, he was still able to throw for over 2,000 yards and happened to have over 270 averaging per game. And if you look back at the season prior to that, he had almost 3,000 yards in only 13 games and 27 touchdowns with only 2 interceptions. The fact he only had 2 interceptions, this tells you that he is incredibly accurate. That is so huge. This guy has got the potential to do extremely well. And what I really like is that they're taking him into a system where their wide receivers, those are all, sideline wideouts, deep ball threats, and that is where Foles excels. He excels, with that deep ball. So
that was a lot of S's.
That was, I know. I got sloppy.
Foles excels.
Sloppy.
I was like, wow.
But I do. I really like the fact that these are wideouts. These are deep ball threats, and that's perfect for Foles. Which is my sleepers. Whenever I think of sleepers, I always think Rams wide receivers because they're not guys that you actually draft.
I think of Rams, Tennessee Titans, and the Jaguars. Those are sleepers.
They
people
all have sleepers. Their entire receiving core are sleepers.
Raiders haven't made the cut yet to sleepers.
Not yet. Not yet.
There.
No, not yet.
They're undraftable still, but getting there.
I'm picking Brian Quick, guys. I like Brian Quick a lot. He's impressive. Yeah. He's got that really speedy skill set that's going to work perfectly with Foles. He's the guy. I'm loving Brian Quick. And so, again, when we're talking sleeper, we're talking late picks. We're not talking this is your 4th wide receiver off the board, per se. But you got a pretty good shot with any of those wide receivers off the Rams. So that's it.
Yay! All right, that was good. NFC East and West. It's gonna be a good season 2015. Again, guys, make sure you hop over to herfantasyfootball.com. We should have rankings up there next week. It's going to be awesome, and we'll make hopefully this year we'll do a little draft kit thing for you, a little draft cheat sheet for your drafts. If you're having a draft soon, this coming weekend or anything, good luck, have fun. Look for buys, and kickers matter, okay? Hop over and chat with us on Twitter at HerFantasyFB and chat with us on Facebook /HerFantasyFootball. You can check us out on Blog Talk Radio and on iTunes if you'd like to hop on there. Give us a nice little love you, 5 stars. That would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening. Until next time, no more faking it.